Hey guys, welcome back to FHC Tactical. We are going to put together a series of shorter videos from our reviews for people who are looking for just that specific round and how they perform. So with that in mind, let's get to it. And our third choice is the Speer Gold Dot duty ammunition, and it's the 55 grain bonded soft point. This one is bonded, so we probably won't see any fragmenting in this one at all. It is a law enforcement round. It's good for barriers, but some of these do really well for self-defense, home defense. All right, guys, for our next string, it's going to be the Gold Dot 55 grain bonded soft points out of the 11.5 inch. 2710, 2642. 2669, 2644, and 2655. So on the Gold Dot out of the 11.5 inch PSA, we averaged 2664. The extreme spread was 68 feet per second, and the standard deviation was 25 feet per second. I think they were calling for like 3,200 feet per second. I'm sure that was out of a 24-inch barrel, but still, I kind of expected a little bit higher speed from the 55 grain. Here we go. Our first one is going to be from our 11.5 inch PSA, and it's going to be the Gold Dot 55 grain. All right, let's go see what it looks like. So this is what we got on the 55 grain Gold Dot out of the 11.5 inch barrel. That is a really just perfect result there. Comes in right at about 1.5 inches and then just get a perfect expansion, a nice temporary cavity stretch. That thing lasts for I don't know, goes for about 6 inches. And you can see down here, man, this thing has stayed together. You get really good expansion on this round. Perfect, looks like penetration. We're talking, that is 14.5 inches of penetration in the gel block. I can't imagine you could hope for more than that. I know I've seen bigger, temporary cavities here, but you can't beat that. That is just a really nice job. No. So we've got the 7.5 inch set up, and this time it will be the Gold Dot 55 grain bonded soft points. 2265, 2259, 2263, 2267. I think I got one more. 2254. Okay, so the Gold Dots out of the 7.5 inch, the average on that was 2261. Extreme spread 13 feet per second. Wow, it's very consistent out of that one. And the standard deviation was 5. So very consistent on that. Yeah, 2265, 2259, 2263, 2267, 2254. Very consistent. I just don't know if we're going to have the velocity we need, but we'll find out. I don't know what we're going to get here. I'm not really expecting great results, but I could be very surprised. We'll see. All right, I think we got a good shot. Let's go down and see what it looks like. So let's see what we've got here.
The temporary cavity stretch isn't awful. I've seen much better, obviously, but we're coming out of a 7.5-inch barrel, and our velocity on that one was 2131. So we are getting to the low end of performance-wise what the 5.56 223 is designed for. Comes in, you get a pretty good temporary cavity stretch. Comes through. I don't know if it's starting to tumble here or not, but it does end up down here, and I don't think it's tumbled. I mean, it looks like it comes straight in, and we've got about, it's sitting right at 18 inches of penetration. The expansion on it, it's okay. It's not great. As you can see, it's this one here. I don't think that's going to be a great expansion, but could it work for self-defense? Probably so. I don't think it's the best option. I definitely like the round out of the 11.5-inch better. Matter of fact, that's them sitting beside each other. This is the one out of the 11.5. That's the one out of the 7.5, and you can tell the expansion on this one is much greater than here. It's expanded. Gold Dot did a really good job. That's what you would expect. However, you can see there is a difference, and when we get them out of the gel, we'll measure those, but there's a definite difference between those two. But would it work? Sure, it would work. So we're going to start with the Gold Dot 55 grain out of the 11.5-inch barrel. Let's start it out at 55 grain, of course, and it's saying 54 grain. So really no loss there at all. And let's measure this thing. .46, 0.45, 0.46. So really consistent. That thing really opened up, and you can see did everything that it's supposed to do. And we went in 14.5 inches on penetration. Can't really expect much else out of that. I mean, that thing is just consistent. Everything that you would want it to be. Very, very good round. You definitely could not go wrong with a Gold Dot there. Next round we are going to look at is the Gold Dot 55 grain out of the 7.5-inch barrel. This one we had penetration of 21 inches, which is quite a bit more, and you can see the difference in the two. Of course, that is the 11.5-inch barrel on the right and the 7.5-inch on the left. Obviously, you know, big difference there. I mean, this one's going to get the job done, but and if you've got your choice of 11.5-inch or 7.5-inch, you know, I'm going to choose that 11.5-inch every day. But let's see. I doubt we lost anything there. Showing 54 grain, so no real loss there. And the expansion, we're showing 0.37, 0.37, 0.35. So consistent across the board with both barrels, but obviously you just do not get the performance out of the 7.5-inch that you do 11.5-inch. So, you know, it would get the job done, but really underperforms when you compare it with the 11.5-inch.
Okay, guys, so what did you think? We would love to get your comments and feedback on how the round performed and maybe how it's performed for you. We appreciate taking the time to watch our reviews. The link for the longer review, the full review, will be listed below. Please like, subscribe, and make sure your notifications are turned on so when we put out new content, you would be notified. And as always, make sure you get out there and exercise your Second Amendment right. We'll catch you next time.